Today we're going to be working on this Ford F-150. This is a 2007. We're going to be replacing the stabilizer or sway bar end links. There's a little slot here in the hubcap for the insertion of the screwdriver. These lugs are so tight I can't even get them off with my breaker bar. So I'm using a cheater bar, which is the handle to my jack. This lug nut is so tight that I'm actually in danger of stripping it out with my socket. So I'm going to switch to a 6-sided socket, which is less likely to strip out a nut. Got it! Quick tip, love my impact gun. This works for pretty much everything that I do. And if you already have batteries for other screw guns or something, it's a pretty cheap addition and makes these jobs a lot faster. Now you've got the wheel off, you can start breaking loose your stabilizer link right here. You can see this one's so bad, there's rubber is totally gone. There's supposed to be rubber on top and bottom of this stabilizer bar. Now you can see it's just spinning. So you got to hold it right here, 15 mil there and 15 mil at the top. Okay, for this bottom section, what I've got to do is put a 5/16 socket on this end and then a 3/4 inch wrench on the nut. Otherwise, if I just turn the nut, the whole inner section just spins. I'm going to drive it clockwise up through the nut. And there she is. So we got our old part here. So these are the right length, look like the right build. Something to note, this new one, and they often come this way, this new one came with a grease nipple in a bag, and you've got to screw this thing in and fill the thing with grease. So if you don't have a grease gun, you can either buy one and do this, or try to buy one at the store that is pre-greased. Sometimes you can buy them and they don't require that assembly. So we're going to fill this up. Got my 8 mil socket. I'm just going to snug this nipple in. Don't over tighten it. Just like any other grease fitting, press it on. You're just going to fill it. A few pumps. So when this cap starts to rise or some starts to squeeze out, you know you're full. A couple notes about the new part. You notice that on this end where we stuck that 5/16 socket, it's not there. Now you're meant to hold it on the other side using this little section here with some channel locks or something like that. On the top side, what you're going to do is remove the bolt, the washer, and one of the bumpers, and you're going to jam that up through the stabilizer. What I'm going to do is take this jack stand and lift it up to max, and I'm actually going to lower the card down so that the stabilizer bar hits the jack stand and forces it up so that I can slip my link in. Ooh. I'm going to put my bottom nut on. I'm now going to lift the truck back up to let that stabilizer bar settle so I have room to get my bumper and washer on. Now, before I get too far, as long as that's fully on, I want to focus on my bottom nut. I'm up here making sure that this section's not spinning, because as soon as it does, I'm going to have to hold it. Alright, so I got lucky. I didn't have to hold that with anything. Give this thing a nice big tighten with my cheater bar. There we go. As you're tightening this top nut, you're going to be forcing the stabilizer bar down. And you just want to make sure that these rubber bumpers are seating properly. So there's a little lip in the rubber bumper that should fit inside the hole. You just want to make sure nothing's getting pinched or folded. So again, like the bottom, I'm just going to tighten this down until I see this start spinning, and I know I have to hold it. And I'm just keeping an eye on my rubber. My top one's seated properly. And then my bottom's starting to touch. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do at this point, I'm going to stick the jack under my control arm and I'm going to lift it up. So now that I've lifted from the control arm, you can see it's sandwiching this bottom bumper as well as the top from the nut. So now that'll help me seat everything properly as I tighten down. That looks good. Take a cheater bar or something long, shove it underneath and use it as a lever so that you don't throw out your back. So there you go. That's one side finished. Usually you want to do them together, and the other side is going to be exactly the same. No problem. If this was helpful, go ahead and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Blah, 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 blah. Go. See, I'm kind of weak. See, my muscles are kind of small. So what I'm going to do is